Now by Barnett Rubin from New Delhi. He is a senior fellow and associate director of the Center on International Cooperation. He is also a very close friend of Jamal Khashoggi. Thanks so much for speaking to us. I'd just like to get your feelings on how this investigation is being carried out. Do you feel those responsible for this crime will be identified and will be held to account?
Well, that depends on so many things I can't say. What I can say is it seems that President Erdogan's strategy here is to present what evidence he has in an orderly way in some kind of an internationally sponsored process. Because what he didn't do today, which there was a lot of speculation that he would, was to play the tapes that Turks supposedly have. He didn't provide any evidence that was obtained by intelligence means. Just he added some new things about the visits to the forest and so on, which are and the timing of the arrivals, which is very incriminating. But he used them to put more pressure on the Saudis and the U.S. and international community to conduct an international investigation which could examine all the evidence, including the closely held evidence that he has not revealed so far.
Why do you think that is? Does it frustrate you? Let me put it that way. Or are you understanding that there is international law to abide by? As you said, he wants to be part of an internationally sponsored process here. But still, does it frustrate you that those physical pieces of evidence that we're hearing so much about in the press haven't been released? Would you like to see those become public?
Well, I think they should become public, but they should become public in a way that assures accountability for the crime. And that's why, of course, I understand that President Erdogan is the political leader of Turkey. He is not a judge. He has political interests. Obviously, the United States does, Saudi Arabia does. So it would perhaps be a little naive just to expect justice to be done. But releasing evidence before the full case is made and before there is agreement on the course of adjudication could actually lead to that evidence being disqualified in the process. So I am willing to wait.
Let me ask you what you make then of the Saudi side of this investigation. President Erdogan pointed out he believes the king is actually sincere in his declaration of wanting to get to the bottom of what happened here. Do you agree that the king perhaps may be an innocent party in this, or do you trust that the rest would be exposed from the Saudi point of view?
I think that what's relevant about that statement is not that he said the king is not guilty. What's relevant about that statement is that he did not say that the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, is not guilty. So the clear implication of that statement is that MBS is a suspect in the crime, and he should not be involved in the investigation.
Let me ask you this, then. If you were in control of this investigation at this point, what steps would you be taking right now?
I would be demanding to be able to independently interrogate each of those people who have been arrested and charged with involvement in the crime, as well as all those potentially in the chain of command, including MBS. I would ask for custody of all the physical evidence and all of the electronic evidence that may be in the possession of the Turks. But I think that these specific independent interrogation of all the suspects is the most important thing.
Right, and that's President Erdogan did point out that the Vienna Convention, in that respect, needs to be re-examined. That diplomatic immunity in this case won't serve for justice.
Well, of course, the Saudis can claim diplomatic immunity, but they can also, under the Vienna Convention, they can waive diplomatic immunity. So if they are, as they say, sincerely dedicated to finding out the truth and punishing those responsible, the best way they could do that would be to waive diplomatic immunity for those who were alleged to be involved. And they can do that.
Do you expect them to?
No.
Okay. Barnett Rubin, we're going to have to leave it there. I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us on TRT World.